Hello students and namaste everyone. I am Dhaval sir and our today's topic is your Unit 5 poem A Legend of the Northland by Phoebe Carey. Right, so this poem is actually a ballad. Now what is a ballad, right? So a ballad is a poem which is in the form of a song and which usually describes a story. Okay, so this poem is in the form of a ballad and it is divided into 16 stanzas having 4 lines each, and the poet is, as I said, is Phoebe Carey. Okay, so usually the ballads are short stories which gives a moral and which belongs to a particular culture. All right, so particular area or a particular culture, and these stories are passed on verbally from one generation to another generation. Okay, so now we'll try to understand this poem in short. The summary of the poem is that in this poem there is a description about an old lady, right, who angered Saint Peter because of her greed. Now, how did she anger Saint Peter because of her greed? I'll let you know. Saint Peter, as we all know, he used to keep on preaching. So, preaching means to spread religious teachings to the people around the world. Right? He used to give religious speeches, and this is how he used to preach the people all around the world. So one day he was preaching all around and he reached at a cottage, a small cottage where this woman lived, and she was baking cakes. Right? She was baking cakes, and Saint Peter, as he was preaching from the morning and it was evening time, he was very much tired and he was about to faint. Right, so therefore he reaches at the cottage of this lady and asks for some food. Right, so this lady was actually making cakes and baking them on the hearth. Now hearth means what? It is a fireplace, right? Usually we say bhatti. Okay, and as the Saint Peter was very hungry, was about to faint, so this lady first of all made a cake, but she found it too big to give it to Saint Peter. So she didn't give that cake to Saint Peter. Again, she kept a new cake for baking. Then again, when the cake was ready, again she found it very big or too big to give it to Saint Peter. That means she felt that the cake is very big, and how can she give away the free of how can she give away the cake free of cost, right? So she didn't wanted to give it away to Saint Peter. So this happened for once or twice, and the third time, what did she do? Then at the third time she took a extremely small scrap of a dough, as we know, right? So small scrap of a dough, and she rolled it so thin like a wafer, right? She rolled it flat like a thin wafer, and then also she was not able to part away from that cake. Part away from that cake means even such a small or a thin piece of cake, right? She didn't want to give away, right? That much greedy she was. So by seeing this, Saint Peter got so angry. He was very much angry with this old lady, and he said that you are not fit to live in the human form, right? You are not fit to live in the form of a human form, and therefore Saint Peter cursed her. And after the curse of Saint Peter, curse means shram. So after the curse of Saint Peter, the old lady turned into a woodpecker, right? So after turning into the woodpecker, the old lady reached the woods. In the curse it was told that you have to go to the woods, live over there and struggle for even a single piece of the food. So immediately she turned to the woodpecker. She had go to the woods, that is the trees or the forest. And after that curse, the people many a times saw this old lady in the form of a woodpecker in the forest and the woods, boring and boring. Boring means making holes, right? So woodpecker, they have the habit of making holes in the tree. So that woodpecker or the old lady in the form of woodpecker kept on boring and boring the woods all day long, just for a small piece of food, just in search of a small piece of food. So that is what the story is all about. Now we'll try to understand the poem paragraph wise. Okay, so I'll read out the poem and we'll try to understand it. Okay, so the first paragraph says, away, away in the northland, where the hours of the day are few and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Right, so as the title of the story describes, that this is a story about the place which is situated at Northland. Now northern part means the northern pole. The exact place is not mentioned in the poem, but we know that the place in the northern part of the earth or near the northern pole is extremely cold. Why it is extremely cold? Because the rays of the sun don't fall too much over there, and because of that there is too less warmth or heat, and the days are short and the nights are very longer. Right, so what does this paragraph say? That away in the northern, where the hours of the day are few. So that I have already explained, that days are short and the nights are longer, and the nights are so longer in winter that they cannot sleep them through. So even if the people, they sleep at night, the nights are so long that when they wake up, then also they find it is the night time only, and it is not possible to sleep throughout the night, right? That much long. So here the emphasis is on of the poet is on saying that the nights are very long, right? That a person cannot sleep throughout the night. Then we'll go to the next paragraph, that is the second stanza, where they harness the swift reindeer, okay, to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bears' cubs in their funny furry clothes. Right, so here sledges means it is a vehicle on runners for covering loads or passengers. Right, usually we have seen in the ice or the snow covered area there are sledges on which the people travel and carry goods also. So what is given? When they harness the swift reindeer. Right, so swift means very fast. Okay, so the Northland region experiences so cold that it is totally full of snow. It is covered totally with the snow, right? And the reindeer, which is the animal of that cold region, right? It is usually found in the polar region. So people, they try their sledges, right? So harness means to tie the sledge with the animal, right, to the sledges. Okay, so sledges, as I have already told, that it is a vehicle which is moving on the snow covered areas, and then the reindeers, they pull the sledges, right? We have seen many a times in the movies, right? Hollywood movies, you might have seen that many a times even dogs are attached to the sledges and they pull the sledge. Okay, so he adds that the children of this place, they look like the young ones of the bear, right? Because they wear furry clothes, wear clothes which looks like made up of fur, right? And we have seen that the bears, their skin is also very furry, and when the children of this place, they wear the clothes made up of this fur. They look alike like the bear's children or the bear's cub. Okay, now we'll move to the third paragraph. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it is true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. Right, so what the poet is saying, poetess is, right, she is saying that she herself doesn't believe in this story. She feels that this story is not real, but then too she is saying that it is very important to learn this story or poem, because it teaches us a lesson, it gives us a moral. Tale means again a story. Once when the Saint Peter lived in the world below. So here the story begins. What is the story? We'll read out. Once when the Saint Peter, good Saint Peter, lived in the world below and walked about it, preaching just he did, you know. Right, so here in this paragraph there is a description about Saint Peter, who was living in this world and who used to keep on preaching. Right, so preaching, as I said, it is a religious speech. Right, when a person like saint, they go on from moving from one place to another and they keep on preaching. That means they go to different places and they give speech on religious matters. Okay, and we all know that all through his life Saint Peter did the work of preaching. Fine. Next, he came to the door of a cottage in traveling round the earth, where a little woman was making cakes and baking them on the hearth. Right, so when he had completed his preaching and when the day was over, he reached at a small cottage door, and he found one lady who was making cakes on the hearth. Hearth means a fireplace. Right, usually these bakery items are made in the fireplace, which is known as hearth. And being faint and fasting. So fasting means avoiding food on special occasions. Right, we may say upvas also. So he was fasting. Right, and being faint. Faint means weak, very weak. He had not eaten anything, therefore he was very weak. For the day was almost done. That means the day was almost over. He asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. Right, so as the lady might be having a bakery, she was having many cakes ready with her. So he just asked for a single cake to her. Right, so she made a very little cake, but as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. So as this lady was very greedy, she didn't give the cakes which were ready. She made a very little cake and she kept it on for baking. And when it was ready, after being baked, she found that this cake was too large to give it away. That means she couldn't give this cake to Saint Peter. Therefore, she needed another and still a smaller one. So needed means again she made a mixture of the dough to prepare a cake, and still a smaller one. That means she still wanted to prepare even a smaller cake to give it away. But it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. That means even at the second time when the dough was prepared and she tried to prepare even the smaller cake than the previous time, and when the cake was ready, she again found it too big, or again she found that cake as big as the first time, and at the second time also she could not part away. She could not part away means she could not give away the cake to Saint Peter. Then she took a tiny scrap of dough, that means a small piece of dough, and rolled it flat and baked it thin as wafer, but she couldn't part with that. So for the third time she took a very small piece of a dough, she rolled it very flat, and when it was made, it was thin like a wafer. So it was so small cake. Then too she could not give it away because she was very greedy. Right? For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself. My cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself. When she says that when I eat my cakes, even though it seems to be larger, but when I myself eat it, I feel like it was a very small cake, are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. So this lines suggest or tells us that she was a very greedy lady who didn't like to give away the things. Okay. Then good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint, and surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Right? Provoke means to make angry. Right? So what is happening? Due to her such activity, right? Such kind of behavior, Saint Peter got very angry, right? Because he was already very hungry from the beginning of the day, and the day was about to get over, so he had not eaten anything because of the fast, and he was fainting because of that. And the lady was, due to her greediness, not able, she was not able to part away or give away the cake to Saint Peter. Therefore, he became very angry. And he said, what Saint Peter said, you are far too selfish to dwell in a human form, to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. So these are the wordings of Saint Peter. When he got angry, he said the old lady that you are not fit to live in the form of a human being. You are so selfish that you are not eligible, or you should not get the food and shelter and the warmthness which you are getting right now. Right? So further, next paragraph. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get your scanty food by boring and boring. Boring means making holes. All day in the hard dry wood. So this is actually a curse, shrap, which was given by Saint Peter to the lady. Then up she went through the chimney. So as he gave the old lady, the little lady, a curse, she went up through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. Right? Because of the curse, the lady was changed, or she got transformed into a bird, that was a woodpecker. She had a scarlet cap on her head. Scarlet means bright red. We have seen the woodpeckers. And that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burnt black as a coal in the flame. So she went out through the chimney, and because of the heat, the clothes were burnt, and the whole body had become black. Okay? And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. Right? So she's trying to say that each and every people who has seen her in the woods or the trees or the forest where she lives at present, right, till this very day, she keeps on boring and boring. That means she keeps on making holes and holes in the woods, right, for finding even a small piece of food. That means that was a curse, right, which means according to which she had to struggle even for a small piece of food. So that's what the poem is all about. So one thing what we can learn from this poem is that we should always try to show sympathy towards the other people who are in need, and we should always try to help others in whatever way possible. So that's it for today. We'll end our lecture over here, and I thank you everyone for watching my video. Thank you everyone.